Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. And as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company. Thank you so much for joining us today on this TGIF open line show. I want to begin by apologizing for our late start, having a little technical difficulties here, but better late than never. We are here and roaring to go. You know the drill. Every Friday, it's an open line show where you are my co-host. Still having issues hearing myself. You are my co-host, and that means that we're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about today because it's an open line show. Now, of course, I have prepared a couple of news clips just to get it started in case y'all playing cute today and decide to take long to call in. But this is all about you and what you want to talk about today on this TGIF. So the telephone numbers to call, 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272, 326, come on, I can't hear myself, 0272, or 824-9952, which is our WhatsApp line that you can send us a message on, 824-9952. Do not call the WhatsApp line because we won't be able to plug you into the broadcast, okay? So, tell you what, let's get started first with our first clip because that'll give us some time to try to figure out what's going on with these headphones. So one of the stories I thought was very interesting this past week is that the Office of the Prime Minister says it is working on a plan that is going to help to stamp out crime. However, what I thought was really interesting is that they put, I don't know if you want to say blame, but they put some blame at the feet of the former administration for the place where we find ourselves today as it relates to this spike in violent crimes, all these murders we see happening. Let's go to that clip number one.
The murder count pushed to 46 today, and police officials labeled last month as the bloodiest month in crime history. Director of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister, Latrell Ramming, says the breakdown in the crime fight started under the Minister administration when it sent select senior officers packing.
That decision had an impact on crime, particularly moving persons like the Deputy Commissioner, who have the brief intelligence on understanding the impact of crime on our country.
He's referring to Deputy Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez, who has since been reinstated since the PLP took office, and Ramming says his expertise will help to abate the current crime wave. Ramming asserts governments must stop politicizing the crime fight.
Our point then is that if you have senior police officers who understand crime, who understand the dynamics, who've been on the forefront of dismantling gangs, that she ought to lead them in place.
Fernando is being hailed as a valuable component in the war against crime, but he's also fast approaching retirement age. So what happens when that time comes? Is the police force going to be crippled in the crime fight again once he's gone?
Mr. Fernando and his leadership with the gang dismantling component of the war against crime, that within itself is going to allow for a sustained training process to go on.
In addition to having that succession plan in place, Ramming confirmed that government has engaged community consultants like Rodney Moncur, who he says understands the dynamics of communities labeled as crime hotspots.
Individuals like Carlos Reed and Mr. Moncur, who have an extensive understanding of the inner community, could help enhance government, the police force intelligence on hotspot or possible persons who could be at risk in the community, young people. And so I think that we have to have the appreciation that crime exceeds policing.
Questioned as to whether or not Moncur's appointment presents a conflict of interest due to the close relationship shared between the daytime talk show host and the National Security Minister Wayne Munro, who appeared on the talk show for months before being elected to office. Here's what Ramming had to say.
You could agree that you have to use key persons in solving crime on the community level, right? Whilst we may have a critical view of him, he's a trusted individual in that community and could help the police in understanding the intelligence, right?
Ramming could not provide a date as to when Moncur was officially engaged by government, what his salary will be, and what other perks are being afforded to the crime consultant from the public purse. Moncur, however, said on his show yesterday that he is working to inspire positive legislation to hang murderers, something that he says the former Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis, was not man enough to deal with.
And the words of Rodney Moncur, this is powerful. What are your thoughts on this? Wow. Was that a good decision? And also, I agree with something that Latreille Ramming said, and that is, and I'm not saying that this is where the blame is for the spike in murders, etc. But I agree with one thing that he said, and that is this: we need to stop politicizing the police force. We need to stop. That move by the former administration to let all those senior officers, I wouldn't say let them go, but place them as security guard and all kind of foolishness when these people had obvious, expertise that could assist the police force in combating or fighting crime. And you're going to dismiss them just because, what? You don't believe they support you politically? Absolute rubbish. And what I thought was interesting was that when they were reinstated before the new Minister of National Security was even put in that position. So in other words, it would appear to be the executives of the police force who quickly brought them back. And if that is true, then that suggests to me that that was strictly a political move to move them in the first place. Utter foolishness. And I'm not saying that it only happened under the former administration, because we saw this time and time again. I don't understand how it is that the police force gets to be this political football when we grappling with crime at the rate that we are at. You would think that you would try to get every person with any kind of expertise to try to, all hands on deck to try to tackle this problem. But instead, you're going to be sending senior officers to go be security guard because you got a problem with their politics, allegedly, apparently. Utter rubbish. So according to what the Office of the Prime Minister's Director of Communications would have said in that news report, it seems that this current administration is saying that that move, is that a call for the show? That move helped cause the problem that we see today. Now, I don't know if I agree with that. But anyway, we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS. Caller, you're on the air. We lost that caller? Okay, the numbers to call, 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0271, or 326-0272, 326-0272, 326-0272. And our WhatsApp number is 824-9952. 824-9952 is the WhatsApp number. Now, obviously, crime goes beyond just the police doing their job. They're just one aspect or one facet of a collective that needs to everyone, pull their weight and do their part to try to stamp out crime, because the police cannot. I mean, they can put programs in place, but pretty much they can only respond after something has already happened. They can't get into the heart of a man to stop him from committing a murder or an attempted murder. So clearly, the whole question of crime goes way beyond just the police. It takes all of us. And when I say all of us, I really do mean all of us. What's going on in the home, what is happening with church outreach, our school system, and the police and judicial system. It's going to take a collective, I believe, for all of us to try to deal with this problem, because I dare say that this problem that we are facing today, we really just, I don't understand why there's so much shock and awe, because we're really just harvesting the seeds that were planted many years ago. And I know when I say this, one of my favorite callers is going to call the show, but a big part of it has to do with the all-out attack on the family structure. With that, I agree with him. Fatherless homes, for whatever reason, whether it be because you have men fathering children all over the place, or whether it be and not being fathers to those children, or whether it be for death or divorce or whatever it is, the fact remains that we have the majority of our homes are fatherless homes. And whether we care to acknowledge that or not, we have to understand that there is a correlation between the seeds that we have planted over these many decades and the harvest that we are reaping now. It's no accident that we have found ourselves where we are right now in this country as it relates to crime and all of the social ills that we're facing, because we have made a decision to not only turn our backs on one of the most important pillars of society, but to all out try to break that pillar down. We didn't just ignore it. We trying to break it down. And then when you break down one of the major pillars that's upholding the whole thing, what do you think is going to happen? I have been I've been working on renovating my house. And there's this particular beam that runs the length of the house. And I've been told by more than one contractor that, all these wonderful ideas you have for what you want to do in this house are fine, but you can't touch that beam. And I say, why? Because I know what I want to see. I have this beautiful vision of what I want in there to look like, and I want it here and there. They say, oh, that's well and good, but you can't touch this beam. Now, I'm not a contractor. That ain't my expertise. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't see why not. But they know why they tell me that. And one of them explained to me, if you move this beam, your entire roof is going to come down upon you, because this is what is supporting your roof. This is what's holding the whole thing up. So all your pretty plans that you have, you need to wake round this beam, because you can't move this beam. Well, it seems to me that we have tried to move some very important beams in our society. We try to break them down, pretend that they don't have a purpose. And then when the whole thing comes crashing down, all are standing there say, well, how this happened? Why this happening? Who fault this is? We have a call on the line. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing today?
Great. How are you?
Oh, where has the Bahamas gone? A little 8-year-old girl got raped today.
What?
Yep, on the Edmund Moxie Park.
I hadn't even heard that. Wow.
It just happened about an hour and a half ago.
8 years old.
8-year-old. I was at Super Value, and when we were coming out, a whole lot of people were standing around and talking about it, and I heard the police cars going by. Yeah, they caught the person or persons who did it. But yep, an 8-year-old girl got raped today.
On a park?
On Edmund Moxie Park in the Grove.
Wow.
Michelle, this country is sick, you know. Either we are sick with these young people having pumped their minds full of dope or filthy music, violent music, sexually violent music, or we are sick from the point of view that governments or government administrations are constantly ignoring God's remedy for the elimination of crime and constantly pandering to the devil's remedy, which of course is no remedy. The devil is the one who is perpetrating all this mess on the world, and we are constantly trying to find either humanistic, ungodly ways of dealing with it, and constantly the ways other than God's way ain't working. Ain't the definition of stupidity is, or insanity rather, is constantly doing the same thing over and over and repeat and trying and endeavoring to get a different result? Michelle, I don't get it. I, honest to God, don't get it. Why is it? I mean, are we really that much more caring about our own human abilities and capabilities rather than God's principles? Because nothing the government does is going to solve crime unless they take God's approach. And a lot of people don't like to hear that God is a God of judgment, but He is. He loves, but He also judges. God has put stringent rules and regulations in place for the rewarding of those who do good and for the punishment of those who do evil. Just look at Romans chapter 13 and the first 6 verses. Or look at 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verses 4 through 12, I believe. God has the remedies right there. Genesis chapter 9, verse 5 and 6, when it comes to capital punishment, etc., etc., all through the Bible. God has given human government the ways and the means by which to deal with lawlessness, and we're not following God's way. And we expect for things to get better, but they're not going to as long as we're not going to do it God's way. And before I continue with that, Michelle, any word from Toby Smith?
No, I haven't heard from him.
Yeah,
Not
because
since he was on my show.
Pardon?
Not since he was on my show.
Yes, because I know when he was on your show last, he did say his court date was going to be the 30th of last month. So, and I haven't heard anything in the news, so I just wanted to know. Oh, man, Michelle, I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I mean, you know, the more I think about those comments that Wayne Monroe made a while back, the more angry I'm beginning to become, you know. Because when Wayne Monroe said that if he was the attorney of that person, he would have advised them not to plead, and he would, and words paraphrasing that he would have that 4 years or whatever he got was too much of a punishment. Michelle, he was wrong from the point of view that he was no longer a private practicing attorney. He was a minister of the government. He should have never opened up his mouth and say something like that. Because I can only believe right now that the slightest little bit of encouragement for people to continue to do wrong, they will do it when they get it. And that to me was a passive green light for criminals to continue doing wrong.
Wow.
I mean, the 8-year-old darling heart of a young lady, young woman.
I'm a little silent right now because I'm still like that threw me for a loop just now.
I mean, Michelle, wasn't it that 14-year-old girl who in respect to the man who was let off and only was given 4 years when Wayne Monroe made that comment? Wasn't it a 14-year-old?
Yeah.
8-year-old today. On the Edmund Moxie Park in Coconut Grove.
Oh, boy.
When are we going to get it? This approach that governments are taking will never work because God is not in it. And I'm not talking about necessarily preaching God all the time, which we must do, but I'm talking about us applying God's laws, God's principles. fair and equal punishment for whatever the crime is that's committed. A person a man or a woman take a life, that man or woman should have, commits a murder, that man or woman should have their life taken in exchange for the life that they took, the innocent life. Look at the woman, the shooting the other day in Pinewood. One woman walked up to another woman, according to the news report, and shot the woman dead. Now, obviously, that is gender equality, isn't it?
Yeah.
If women can do the crime, women must pay the time. If women can murder, women should have their lives taken. I don't care about the gender. I don't care about the race.
Yeah, it has
God
nothing,
only looks at
it has nothing to do with gender.
exactly. God only looks at the heart of people, Michelle. I mean, I was hoping to call you on some brighter notes today, i.e. the legislation that was presented in Parliament on Wednesday regarding carbon credits and our country moving toward that and talking more about solar energy and stuff. Those are the things I really would have liked to spoken in depth with you about today, Michelle. But an 8-year-old girl raped today on Edmund Moxie Park. Wonder what Wayne Monroe's going to say about this one.
I don't think he can say anything after
He
the
better
last
not.
clash. Yeah.
Not unless it's something that is going to be a matter of punishment and making severities in the law to really. I mean, what are these people afraid? I mean, oh, Michelle, I am upset. Okay, I'm upset. I'm upset.
I am lost for words. I'm just how.
Michelle, what
See,
can a gray horse
this
man
is
get out
why
of having sex with an 8-year-old?
this is why I get so angry when we're having discussions about this misogynistic attitude, this rape culture in this country, and then people try to trivialize it. I get very angry because people don't understand that, first of all, rape has nothing to do with sex. That's all about power.
Power and arrogance
and control. And
yeah,
so,
exactly. Yep.
So when you trivialize those kinds of discussions, in essence, you are saying to a person who is sick enough to do something like that, that girl has no real value. You could do whatever you want to do to her.
And Michelle,
it's okay to hurt her because she's just a girl.
Yeah, that's exactly the message, the wrong message, albeit wrong, but that is the message that a lot of these young men have got. Michelle, they listen to all of this reggae music that is promoting nothing, in my view, reggae and rap, that's promoting a whole lot of sexual filth. They're smoking and drinking their brain cells out of existence. They are weakening their moral compasses or moral fiber, allowing satanic influences to possess their souls. And but I mean, great. And I heard somebody commented, well, they got all them loose women out there, and they had to go fool with that 8-year-old girl. It is wrong to rape anybody.
Period.
But my God, if they wanted to have sex, go find a prostitute.
It ain't about sex.
I know, Michelle. I know. But Michelle, again, I'm upset. This 8-year-old child, school age girl, has now gotten violated. Only God knows what kind of damage happened to her. These bleeding, hard-headed people out there who are constantly taking up for criminals, whether it's intentional or not, whether it's passively or actively, you all are causing crime to get worse in this country. Whenever anybody excuses a criminal for the wrong he or she does, you are making the problem worse. And the saying is, you are guilty by association. If you cook the pot, if you put in the meat, if you put in the bean, if you put in the rice, everybody is just as equally responsible for the outcome of the pot because they all put some ingredients in there. Michelle, and anyway, I can leave you be, but I don't know what more to say. This country is sick. The Commonwealth of the Bahamas has lost its moral soul. When you no longer respect the value somebody's right to their own space, that's their right. I don't care how loose a woman may dress. A man has no right to touch her. Now, she shouldn't go around dressing loosely, but if she does, that's her right. And no man has the right to touch her because he thinks he is man. An 8-year-old schoolgirl, Michelle, 8 years old, got raped today. Thank you, my dear, for your time.
Yeah, thanks so much for calling. Wow. Wow. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello, how you doing this morning?
After that, the news.
Hello?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
How you doing?
I'm here. Go ahead. Make your
Anyhow,
comment.
this is Bahamas Loving Care.
Mhm.
You know what I was asking the government to do? I asked them to put the police them back on the bicycles to each one of the stations. And they haven't done that yet. They're downtown. But if they have a police on the bicycles at the police stations, them, they can have a chance to ride through the community and see what's going on and try to help the crime in this country. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. That's a very good idea. Then some of the stations again, they need to put some like an outreach to some of the stations. If they police driving in the community and they see some people need something to eat or they don't have nothing to eat, they can always bring them to the station and give it to them. And they could go into the community, to all these shops and so forth, and get people can sponsor. All these shops, they'd like to sponsor. They get a lot of stuff sitting inside the station, inside their shop. They could give it out to the police to give out in the community and the fellas on the bicycle. And that's a very good idea. And I tell them about it, and they look at me, I don't have any sense. But that's a very good idea. Look at the little girl right in the park there, Edmund Moxie Park. Now that's a crime, shame in this country. I think everybody should get out and march against that and do something in this country and wake these people up in this country. What they doing, my dear? If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
No,
Thank
you're
you.
not wrong. You're not wrong. Thank you so much for calling.
Okay, but see if you can push that for me, please.
It's just
Thank you.
I'm so tired of having the same conversation. Thank you so much for calling. I'm really tired of having the same conversation. Just really tired. Is that a caller for the show? Go ahead. Welcome to GPS.
Hello.
Hi, you're on the air.
Oh, hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm here.
You know, let's just all breathe and we have to continue to be strong and strengthen ourselves, our minds, our souls for that unfortunate the child, the victim today, for what happened, what she's going through. And, continue to just pray and agitate and try to see if we can change things and make things happen. That threw me off my game today too. Listening to JT, when he mentioned that, but I think we all have to look ourselves in the mirror when these things, something like this happens. When we have innocent victims who are violated physically, sexually, across the board, we have to look at ourselves. Unfortunate incident happened on the park, that's named after him. What he stood for, the things that he did to achieve, you understand, great things for Bahamians, right? For something like that to happen there. I don't know if we have groups like neighborhood groups and persons who, and we need to do this, either we have to do it ourselves as far as on these parks and certain places. Just be aware, to be aware and notice things. And thank God, hopefully they caught the person, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember it was last year sometime, there was a child walking to school, going to Pablo Primary, and she was about to almost near the corner, turn for the entrance, and a fellow jumped her, grabbed her, and tried to take her hands, and and he exposed himself and tried to more or less drag her off.
Mm-hmm.
But the motorists, they were very vigilant,
Right.
and they ran behind him. They lost him, but they finally caught him. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That was a child around that same age. Could have been a victim as well. There's so many persons that we don't know about, and it's happening, it's going on. Since that last incident with the 14-year-old, the hoopla with Mr. Monroe, and I think if he wasn't aware as to what he said or whatever, I think he fully understands now exactly what we're saying and what the point that we are making with that. But we have to, what would get in the mind of a person to want to have that kind of power, that kind of sick, sadistic power? You understand? To do something to a child or anybody, to violate anyone, but a child. And but what I called you mainly for, Michelle, is the two girls who were murdered and one of them committed suicide. They left behind children, a 3-year-old and baby. I was trying to find out as far as their children that they left behind.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know what's going to become of those children. And I think both of them are boys.
Well, I think they have relatives who are caring for them.
Yes, I mean, but see, the thing is, a lot of these situations you find with a lot of these children, you hear children join these, what they say, these gangs or a part of these gangs from 5, 6, or whatever, so young. But I spoke to two former gang members who were former young men, several men now, and I asked them the question, and they said these things are learned behavior. You have children, like their children who grow up in the environment, in the household. They see these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they become, it's like it's a part of them. They grow into it. They adjust. It's familiar to them, right? And the thing is, and I always say it, and you always say it as well, to get to them, to how do we show them a different way? How do we show them another way? A child goes on the park because it's supposed to be a safe space, right? It's supposed to be a safe space where they can go on the swings and play the games and do whatever they walk around, have fun and be free and be innocent. And now that's going to be a spot of horror for the child and other children, right? So we have to go, like, instead of being like home or whatever, probably do take turns or whatever, people in the communities or even out of the communities, spend time. You understand? Be vigilant. Notice things. Even if you see a brush or a little area, demand that gets cut down, or you understand, to secure these children. When you go home when you pass sometimes on these streets, sometimes it takes long for them to clear down the side of the sidewalks, the bushes growing out almost to the streets, over the sidewalk. You have a lot of freaks out here just waiting for the opportunity to, understand, to take and grab and take advantage. And a lot of children are harmed because of carelessness. You understand that we need to do, and I haven't heard any more on the bills. I think Mr. Wilshcombe, Social Services, spoke about, and dealing with this whole deal with violence against children and whoever the victims are. We need to hear from what's going on that. We need to see action, because when these things happen, we just go quiet until another shocker comes, and then we're talking about it again. And I hope Mr. Monker, on his appointment, and I congratulate him, But the thing is, why aren't they calling in persons like Michelle Malcolm? Why aren't they calling in persons like Miss Debbie Bartlett to be consultants in areas where because I mean, you guys, you ladies, you all are very, 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 very deep. You all are very intellectual. You all have a lot of knowledge to how to touch the lives of these young girls, little girls. You understand? We need persons from all sectors of society, and I would like to see them call in and ask you guys guidance, assistance. Would you be willing to take on a job like that in social services or areas, education in those areas where you can affect change with young girls?
I would be willing to help wherever I can help, wherever,
Yes.
I'm a person who believes in knowing your role and staying within your lane, because
Yes,
I
yes.
wouldn't dare to put myself above someone who has studied something like sociology, or, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You got to know where you can make a difference. But wherever I believe I have something to contribute, I'd be willing to contribute,
Yes,
because
the strongest points.
we
Because
all
we
have
need,
to be involved in
yeah,
this.
because we need all hands on deck.
We really do.
We need coming together in this country right now. We need, we need this because we're suffering. We're suffering because, too many people are dying. And Mr. P, I want to say this to him. Even when this thing was in at the numbers and at the rage and the heat as it is now, with young men being murdered and being shot down, he has always, over the years, every time he would always come on and he would say, well, a young man was killed today, or this one was killed. Has always been his concern, his love, you understand, and looking out, especially for our young men in this country. And I commend and I just want more people to be included in the tent, and more people to be included in trying to come up with ways. We have to do our own thing on our own. That's what I do, and that's what you do. You have something going on, which is great, right? But we still need to take these people where we can get them, as far as with whatever, like you say, their strengths are, and utilize them, because we are in trouble, and we need to have everybody involved and a part of trying to save, just to save our society. And like I said, you have a Friday show I like to bend. But thank you for allowing me to call, and you have a good and safe weekend, okay?
Thank you so much for calling.
Okay, bye-bye.
We are way past our break time, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to continue with this open line show. Boy, I tell you. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rim, fence, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. Add to the stream. Okay, there we go. Okay, so hopefully the Facebook audience should be able to hear us by now. We don't know what's going on with our camera here in the studio, but we will certainly work on that to try to get that sorted out. Okay, so again, the numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or the WhatsApp number is 824-9952. This is an open line show today, where we invite you to call in and let's talk about what you want to talk about today. And got some shocking news in the first portion of the show that an 8-year-old child was sexually assaulted, raped on a public park this afternoon. Is that a caller for the show? Caller, welcome to GPS. Hello, caller. Caller, are you there?
Yes. Good afternoon, Miss Michelle Malcolm, and let me give thanks to the Almighty God. I always must say this through Jesus Christ of Nazareth, enveloping us in the Holy Spirit. Good afternoon to my mortal boss, former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram, God's leader's leader, and also good afternoon to Prime Minister Philip Edward Brave Davis and the ushered-in administration by the Almighty God with special emphasis of truth to those 7 women. Your topic today, reference to the crime. You, Ms. Michelle Malcolm, there is a 1998 Select Committee on Crime that Sir Burton Hall was the chairman of. The Minister of Works, Mr. Alfred Sayers, brought it up into the in the House of Assembly. That had Reverend Charles Sweeting on it. The One Bahamas Development Plan and the national autonomy with the Bahamas Conference of the Methodist Church. We need to realize that plenty people are anti-Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Now, that's their choice. Now, we need to also bring on these airwaves the 2008 Select Committee on Crime, what former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram had in the House of Assembly. If you don't have the copy of that, get the Tribune. I think it was Thursday, about 3 Thursdays back. Reference to him stating that there was no support in the House of Assembly when he put forward the marital rape and all forms of sexualized crimes. Okay? Now, what has happened is that we need to get together, come off this high horse, whether it is FNM, PLP, or whatever. We need to get together, have that forum up at Paul Farquharson headquarters, and let people listen live. People want to hear the truth, okay? Because you have individuals who have accused certain politicians, it's only perception, but they are not a part of any form of corruption. Now, the second point now with these telephones, that's why I said, thank God for Jesus Christ.
Bernice, I need you to make it quick. Hold on. I need you to make it quick. Hold on. We have another caller waiting, so I need you to wrap this up, okay?
I'm wrapping it up.
Okay.
We have the Star 44 that has been put out of service. The USSD is on the phone system of many people who are disadvantaged financially, and that ought not be. That is one of the reasons why the Telco had to be privatized to put on a universal infrastructure. And we, as the Bahamian people, must come together and stop this, because I can assure you that what we are dealing with is transnational organized crime, and I will go and deal with this situation because we have the solution to this.
Okay.
And from 1998,
Bernice. Bernice.
Hall, he was a part of it.
Okay,
and
Bernice.
He said it is dishonesty.
You got your point. We have another caller. Caller, welcome to GPS. Hello, caller.
Hello, Ms.
Hi.
Malcolm, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You know something? It'll take me 1 minute, okay? Give me 60 seconds, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know the problem with it is? The parents, they are not paying attention to their children. The other day, right? Out on the street, right? These young girls, 14, they wearing these things. I can't believe it. And their mother ain't nowhere around, and they walk in the street.
So let me ask you something, caller. Let me ask you something.
Where's y'all go home, right?
Let me ask you something, caller. Let me ask you something, caller. You think the 8-year-old who was raped today was wearing something inappropriate?
No, ma'am.
So why are we constantly victim blaming? Why are we constantly doing that? Why are we constantly saying?
Where's the parent? That's what they're asking. Where is the parent?
It depends on what.
You know where my child, you know what, 8 years old, but she can't be on my side. She can't be on my side.
So you don't wake it. You don't wake it.
Huh?
You don't wake it. You just take your 8-year-old with you to work? Do you take your 8-year-old with you to work?
No, ma'am. But
you cannot.
Ms. Malcolm, if right now in the yard right now, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in the yard. That's what I tell you. There's always an adult present. Ain't nowhere in the world. My child, listen to me, I run that person down. Whoever, I run them down. Listen to me, I tell you, I'm saying to you, ma'am, with all respect to you and the baby people, this is what I'm saying. The parents must be held accountable. Guess what? Whoever the person is, do them right in, right? But the parent, you do them in too. You know why? You neglecting your child.
Let me ask you something. What? Let me ask you something, caller. Let me ask you something. Let's say you have a single mother, because we got a lot of single mothers who are heading homes. You gotta go to work because you gotta feed your children. So you gotta go to work. So unfortunately, your child may have to walk home from school. I don't think. Listen, when I was growing up, walking home from school was no big deal, but that was a different time than it is now. But you have parents who have to work. They cannot be there to pick up their children. They may not have the support system to go and pick up their children from school or walk their child home from school. So what is that person to do?
This is what my dad used to do. My daddy had 16 children. This is what he do. 10 us. When you come, he's busy for this. When you come to school, you bring your sister. Don't play.
But what if this is an only child? What if you don't have that support? What are you to do?
My uncles used to do. We used to set up all the children up. You're going home, we get together. You don't leave until Toya come. You don't leave until Glory come. You don't leave until July come. You don't leave until they reach. When they reach, the big one say, where you been? Let's go to play. And we get home together. See what happened is the parents, man, the mother, I don't care what you say. I don't care what they say. There's no excuse to leave a child by themselves. Look here, use a cousin or use a neighbor. Look here, make sure my daughter get home safely. That's how you do it. See what happened is you can't talk to her now. You talk to her now, her mother ready to chop you up or shoot you, whatever case it be. The point is, there's a baby at the old school. And mama, you pass mama yard. Mama say, well, get home, mother. All right, we got to go home. You understand me? We have lost these days. You ever say something before I hang up? You know what that? These foreign people. I tell you the truth. These Haitian, all them, they come with this funny kind of lifestyle they live. We don't live them lifestyle. We don't live them lifestyle, not Bahamian. As I grow, I'm 57 years old, and I never see this kind of lifestyle until these people come from different places, and come here, all this funny lifestyle they live in. They live in see, Bahamas government, I blame for that. You know why? They do slack. That's why these things happen. That's, the foreign people come in, they can take over. You know why they take over the country? People say, you don't fight for it, you're going to have it. That's why. It's them who doing this thing. They Bahamian doing this thing. Check their last name. His last name is Despair or whatever. There ain't no Bahamian name.
Caller, you can't say that.
Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks for calling. You can't say that. You can't say Bahamians ain't doing these things. You can make that kind of statement. Oh man. Not everybody is in the position where they could go and pick up a child from school, or where they could go and walk the child home from school, or where they have a support system. And it would be great if we did do that, or if we did have that, if we did have a support system. But a lot of them don't have that. They don't. And, when you talk about and listen, I'm not saying that some young ladies dress inappropriately. I agree with you. I look at some of them and I say, come on, man, you need to go put on some more clothes. But that still does not give anybody the right to violate them. And what amazes me every time this comes up, we quick to point finger at them and the parents, but we ain't saying nothing but the perpetrators. We ain't dealing with the perpetrators. We ain't calling them out for what they are, the scum of the earth. We ain't dealing with that. We could justify a grown, gray-hip man impregnating a 14-year-old girl because she looked for that, because she thought she was a woman, because she is too forward. Why are we not dealing with him? And this is the problem that I have, and this perpetuates this problem in this country, where the blame is never put where it's supposed to be. And I agree, we are all collectively responsible to some degree, but come on, man. When are we going to ask the males to be responsible for their behavior? We got a call on the line. Caller, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Michelle.
Hey.
You seem to be all riled up, but my advice to you is calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down, please. That's very condescending. I'm a grown, hold on. I'm a grown 58-year-old woman. I do not need to tell you to tell me to calm down.
Okay. Stay excited.
Very condescending.
Stay excited. Don't calm down. Let me make my contribution.
Please do.
Okay. Our biggest challenge in the Bahamas is education. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Without education, we are not getting anywhere. Anywhere. You would find in a well-educated society, a lot of these issues we seem to be dealing with and grappling with are so small, because you would find well-educated people understand their place in society and what risk They value certain risk they will not take because there's too much to lose. When you run in a society where a vast number of your citizens feel they have nothing to lose, then all bets are off. All bets are off. Right now, in the Bahamas, we have quite a number of people who feel that there's nothing in the society for them. They have nothing to lose, and they will destroy both you and God.
Yeah, they ain't gonna destroy God. They ain't gonna destroy God.
Okay? Oh, they try. Okay? So unless we deal with the problem holistically, we just, everybody pointing fingers to the left, everybody pointing fingers to the right, everybody has a little piece of the solution. But if everyone's dismissing everybody offhand, as if, oh, you don't know what you're saying, then all we're doing is going around in circles. For instance, your last caller, he brought up a point, He brought up a very serious point that we tend to dismiss in this country.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of people among us. We don't know who they are. We don't know from whence they came. We don't know what their values are. But all we know is we can all sing Kumbaya.
Mm-hmm.
But we have never really taken inventory or taken stock to figure out, okay, who are among us? You're not going in the same direction. And you can't have two people wanting to go in the same boat, but rowing against each other. We have a whole class of people in the Bahamas who, as far as they're concerned, they deserve to be Bahamians as far as they're concerned, but are not Bahamian. They don't support the system because they don't believe the system supporting them. A house divided by itself will never stand. Unless we really, really be honest and stop covering up what's really going on in this society, we will forever be fighting these issues. Who are these young men? Everyone ducking and dodging. Who are these young men who are doing these things? And a lot of them you would find fall right in that category as so-called stateless. They don't belong to so-called nobody. They're not loyal to country because they feel country is not loyal to them. So our problems are deep. Our problems are poor education, a jacked up immigration situation, a crazy religious situation that we just have so many crazy issues. Now, when it comes to the matter of molestation and child abuse and all this stuff, as crazy as it is, and as alarming as it is, these things are not new. You and I went to high school together. Okay? Mm-hmm. I've been around here. And I could tell you from since I was a young boy, in my neighborhood, and I grew up in a house with a single woman, I know women who molested young boys. This stuff ain't new. We just never talked about it. It was taboo. We were told, don't you ever mention those things. But I have plenty of friends. Many times we sit down and we discuss it. We can tell you this one and that one and the next one. This ain't nothing new. When I hear these things, I'm not shocked. This has been going on in this country from time immemorial. To us, we pretending like this is new. And man was doing it, women were doing it, respected women were doing it, respected men were doing it, the clergy was doing it, the teachers were doing it. In fact, I think today we are better off now than we were back then, because back then we couldn't talk about it. At least today now we could discuss it.
Well, we could discuss it, but I don't know if I could say it was better off back then.
We're better now
because,
than back then.
Because whereas it happened, it did not happen at the frequency that it's happening now. And I agree with you. It just is not time to talk about. But now it seems like seems like all of the gates have been flung open. Whereas people may have, and I have another call on the line. Whereas people in the past may have, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but they may have sort of not, now that it's open. Now
we have mass media, Michelle, things moving around fast. And then they got away with it because no one had cameras. Communication was zero.
I'm not saying it didn't happen. I just don't think it happened at the rate that it's happening now. It has
It's more
accelerated.
so. It was more so then, because people today are more afraid they will be exposed. Back then, there was no exposure, and if you as a child exposed someone, you would be held in contempt.
All right. Well,
Okay.
thank you for calling. Let's go back to the phone lines. Call up GPS.
Madam Michelle.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm not too good today.
Mm-hmm.
Madam Michelle, myself and you, we've been here a little while now. And we have seen the change in the Bahamas that we once knew. But can I engage you? Do you really wholeheartedly believe that we still are a Christian nation?
I don't know if we ever were.
What do you mean?
We are a religious nation, but I don't know if we were ever a Christian nation.
Okay.
We got plenty of religion in this country.
We
Still,
got plenty of
a lot of religion. But if you define Christianity as having a relationship with the Most High, I don't know if we were ever a Christian nation.
Let me ask you this. Don't take it personal.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe blood on your hands and blood on my hands? I believe some blood on my hands too.
Yeah.
Do you believe blood on both of our hands?
Yeah.
You know, Madam Michelle, I know your uncle now good enough to know the teaching that I sat under many years ago as they start the Bahamas Christian Fellowship. And if they were to come back and see the Bahamas now, to see young men being slaughtered to the hands of homicide, leave on the side of the road like a dog.
I mean, back in the day, they used to use some murders in the night. Now they killing you in broad daylight like it's nothing.
And Madam Michelle, you all ain't have no outrage. Madam Michelle, you all ain't have no outrage. These sisters could come on your show and talk politics all day. These sisters could want to come on your show and they want to be in charge. They want this power. They want this power. You bring them on and they want this power. But the young men are being slaughtered in the hands of homicide and your sisters ain't saying nothing. Madam Michelle, something got to be wrong with this. Is this a conspiracy? What happened to the family? Why there is no message? You all could appoint a man who ain't qualified to talk about crime and no message on the family. Madam Michelle, what's going wrong? What's going on? Why your sisters, they want gender equality. They want marital rape. Why is it that there is no outrage on our young man who's being slaughtered to the hands of homicide? Is this a conspiracy?
I don't think it's a conspiracy.
What is it, Madam Michelle?
I believe that how do I put this? Everyone has a tribe. I believe that the women who are speaking out for equity, they identify as their tribe women. I believe that men, because you're talking about the sisters that I bring on this show from time to time, where's the outrage from the men who are supposed to be, according to us, you always sing, the head of the family? Where's the outrage from them? You know why there ain't no outrage from them? Because many of them got 5 and 6 and 7 different households where they got children.
Agreed.
Okay? So don't only throw rock at the women and you ain't got nothing to say to your brothers.
I agree. I meet a young man the other day. His father was a former politician. And he was so outraged. His father had 55 children. 55 in this country. One man had 55 children. I go on. Madam Michelle, I go on.
Have a good one. Numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp number 8249952. I remember some time ago. We have a caller? Okay, I come to you right now, caller. I remember some time ago I was on another show And somebody called the show. We were talking about the Miss Bahamas and the programs for developing young women. And somebody called on the show and said, well, what about the men? You around here talking about developing young women. What about the men? I say, yeah, what about the men? What y'all doing? Because a part of the problem that we have in this country, which you also like to throw in our face, is that women, you say a woman can't teach a boy how to be a man. So where are the men? Why don't you step up as a male to help to guide some of these young men who clearly have lost their way? Why is it always, where are the women? Where are the women? What you doing? What you doing? I try to help raise young women. I try to help develop young women. What are you doing as a male to reach the young men? Because a part of the problem we have is we have too many women who try to raise men. We have a phone caller. Let's go to the callers. Caller, welcome to the show.
Young women, I try to help develop young women.
You need to turn your radio down, please, or whatever you're listening on.
Hello?
Yes. Hi.
Yes. How you doing? Let me contribute something to your show. First of all, we have to go to the lawmakers. Let's start with the lawmakers, and I can trickle down quickly to that. First of all, they passed a law that a young lady could give consent at 16, but she cannot vote, she cannot get a job, she cannot do none of these things. Mm-hmm. But they passed this law at 16. Now they need to do something with that first.
Well, they are looking at that now. That's
now. Now they look at it now because things happen.
If we were talking about laws on the books that don't make no sense, according to the law on the book, anybody could get permission from a parent for a child as young as 7 to give consent.
Yes, I know that according to the law.
So now, we were talking about laws would need to be fixed.
Yes, plenty that need to fix. So now when it comes down to the family structure, you look at the society today, the family structures is failed. No father. The father ain't doing what he's supposed to do. Mommy doing this, children doing that, everybody doing their own thing. So when the structure has been broken, what do you think the happy society can break down? Coming from broken home, there's no father inside there. Mommy stressed out, mommy doing this, and the children seeing this because daddy ain't doing their job. And then what happens? Then everybody, then they call it the blame game. But nobody wants them to the plate to fix the problem. You see what I'm saying? So if the men do their job as they're supposed to do, not all men, some men do their job as they're supposed to do, then then society will be much better. Because they won't have children all over the place, running around. They won't be throwing their stuff all over the place and then leaving them right there and they go from one end to the next. And then if they, like they say, when they get married, they go scheme all about have different children. And then pressure come down from here, pressure over there. Then the children missing the father figure because the father figure plays a major role in children's life, especially boy children, because they watch boy children. Boys are visual creatures.
I want to read a comment to you from one of my Facebook viewers.
Okay.
Rich says the problem is men. When the head is out of order, then the family crumbles. You men are responsible. How do you respond to that?
I agree. I concur with that because I use the Bible, but God gives man authority and dominion over all things. If you sit back and just get lazy and don't do your job, what do you think happens? And then the woman can try to do something to try to make it work, and then she only could do so much. And then what can happen? Then you will blame the woman for doing this because she's trying. You see what I'm saying? If you ain't trying, you ain't doing that. You ain't even go sew your loins all over the place and do all kind of crap and stuff like that. If, for example, I'm married, and I go to the bar and spend all my money. When I get home, can't feed the children, can't do this. What do you think that happen? Big fight. The woman start making noise. And then you say, she nagging you, then you want to start fight the woman, then here goes domestic violence. And that's the rise upon it. Because the foolish mistakes or the foolish decision men make. Men is not doing their job. And if they are doing their job, then this comes from inception of time. This is going on. Now what's happening now, we in the 20th century, everything just blew up like a volcano. It ain't hide no more. It used to hide now it's open. You see, so now we have to, as the men have to stand. Some, not all, some of the men have to stand and do their job. If they do their job, the house will stand. We cannot pass the blame because the men are the head. If the head is broken, if you look at a snake, you chop the snake head off, what do you think the snake can do? Nothing. Can't go away and get anywhere. The bigger right there around until it's dead. And then what happens is trickle over in society. Boys looking for somebody to look at a father figure. They find somebody doing it wrong, they can follow that same pattern. Next thing you know, here goes gang. Next thing you hear this next thing you're doing this woman bad, you're having children all over the place. It starts from home. It don't start nowhere else but home. Everything in this world, everything we do, it starts from home. Kids learn from home how they become in society. If we don't teach them the right way, we think happen when they get in society, they have stink attitude. They because they see mommy and daddy cursing, or see mommy curse or daddy cursing, they do the same thing out there. We think happen. Now, man, you don't get me wrong. Now, you still grow up with children in the right way, and they still stray away from what you teach them. But the principle will still remain in them. The morals of society has been broken because the family structure is broken. We could blame everybody we want to blame, but they have to blame the family. I stick to the family because God gives man, I end on this, give man the family. He is the family. I got to blame him because if he ain't doing his job, the family dead. And I stop right there.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Okay, we have another caller. Caller, welcome to the show. Hello, caller, you still there?
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi, good afternoon to your listeners and your producer, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's Friday, we talk about things that happened this week. I was listening to the news, and I was wondering if you could catch the part with Ryan Pindle. News report, I think it was yesterday or something on the news. I don't know if Eyewitness News do anything, but I try to paraphrase what he had to say. One reporter he asked him something about one report what was done by former Justice Anita Allen. I don't know if you're aware of it, on immigration. A few years ago.
Go ahead. What? Because as I was going through, I missed the news a couple of nights this week, and as I was going through, trying to prepare clips for today, I didn't get to listen to that in full with what he was saying.
Well, like I said, I paraphrase. It sounded like a reporter was asking him, like, what the deal is with that report, because the former government was going to implement it soon before they got voted out. And Ryan Penn is the Attorney General, and he was saying that he was mentioning how long the report was, 100 and something pages. I don't know how relevant the amount of pages is. I don't know if that say how serious the case is, or they shouldn't have so much pages suggestion or whatever. But I think this was something done by Anita Allen. The reporter was trying to find out, like, if this new day government going to move forward with it and stuff like that. And he was saying that they was going to do it a different way, go by case. And he mentioned something about the referendums we had and how the people...
And sometimes you just have to...
Yes, that's the point. That's the bottom line right there. That's what I get into. You have to bring people in line to make them understand that all of us are equal. That's the key word, equal. When I hear him say equal, I don't know if anyone else gets on there. I say in God's sight, all of us is equal.
I don't want to comment on this because I'm not fully aware of everything.
I can't wait till you could hear it. Then I just give it my view or my way. What I hear him say, I feel like all of us are equal in God's sight. But when it comes down to the Constitution, every country, I think, have a Constitution or should have a Constitution. And
yeah, he was saying something about some decisions have to be made just from the legislative.
And I think that was strong words to use. And I believe, like I say, in God's sight, all of us are equal. But you can't bring another person from another country, and especially if they didn't come in the right way and talk about you making everybody equal. I think what we should continue is maybe keep some of the same things what we've been doing, like that. With the Constitution, when you reach a certain age, even if you come here illegal or whatever, consideration on being a citizen or, like that. But to open it like that, what I would have liked for the media to do is to maybe break it down and let us know some of those things with former Justice Anita Allen, the report, what she to do, what was in that, and what they was recommending to see what's the difference with him saying, bring people in line and making all us equal. I don't know what difference it is. And you want to help me congratulate Rodney Munker and the government for appointing him, or you already did it?
You already did just now.
Okay, let's congratulate Rodney Munker. I feel like Rodney Munker, former senator, he's one of, when I say us, whosoever want to exclude yourself, you could exclude yourself, but he's one of us, the people, and I think the majority of us right-thinking behaving think that it was a good move for the government to do it. Some people feel like because it's in the Ministry of National Security, knowing that he had this QC, the Minister of National Security, Wayne Monroe, on his show a lot of times as a co-host, it sounds like it's conflict of interest, but I don't think so. I think the majority, and I know I can't speak on everybody, right? But, you know, a person like Rodney Manka, and I ain't trying to boast of myself, he kind of should remind me about me. Or when, you know, when I hear him, I remember me sometime. And I don't think he could be bought. I think he'll speak out against the government, any government, don't care who appoint him for whatever job. He could speak out against wrong. You understand? I think that's the hard person Rodney Monk is, and I don't think it's conflict of interest. And if I had to pick one of the jobs for him, I would tell him to continue on the radio if he had to pick one. But if he could do this job and stay on the radio, I think we can't afford to lose, you know, unless it's God will to remove him off the radio right now or the airwaves. I think he's doing a good job, and I say congratulations for them making the choice to do it. And I hear you was pointing out to the person, you know, some people have to go to work. You know, we have to send our children to school, and not all of us have rides for them. Some of them have to walk, and we walk when we were small too. And children was being molested and deal with these kind of actions the same way in the past, but it's just happening more now. And I think we need to, in spite of us having to go to work to pay the bills, to feed the children and everything, we need to have be more creative if it's possible, either as a family or a single parent in thinking, or community with helping each other, because what's happening to these children and so rapidly is wrong. And then people don't want you to ask the question where the parent was. Some parent going to work, some parents sitting down on their butt. You understand? And it's wrong. They believe they could just have these children, let them come out here to these wolves and animals and eat them up.
Okay.
So,
well, listen,
I think the parents, we have a responsibility to be there for our children, look out as much as possible.
Nobody's disputing that at all. No, and I hope my comments weren't misunderstood. I didn't mean that parents should not be responsible for their children. I'm just saying that in many cases, you know, it's they just can't be there 24/7.
No.
But listen, we got to take a break.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much for calling. We're going to take this quick break. When we come back on the other side of the break, we're going to continue this open line show. I have a comment on Facebook I want to bring up, and we're going to talk about that. So stay with us. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Track Life, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome back to GBS on this Friday open line show. The numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or the WhatsApp line to send a message 824-9952, 824-9952. So Alexander says nobody's victim blaming. When you go fishing for grouper and tuna, you have to understand that there are sharks in the water that are attracted to the same bait. Provocative clothing will attract predatory men who could care less about the rules of civil society. You keep harping on holding men accountable, but they are not men. They are predators with little to no impulse control, out hunting for a victim and an opportunity. Wow. So should we then, Alexander, go to the place where some of those Muslim countries are, where the only thing a female is allowed to have exposed are her eyes, covered from head to toe? Is that where we should go? Because what you're saying is that if a woman dresses, in your view, provocatively, then she's looking for what she get. Now, the question is, how do we determine what is constituted as provocative? Because what is provocative for you may not be what is provocative for somebody else. So where do we determine what is crossing the line of being provocative? And do we need to now go to the place where we as women have to be covered from head to toe and the only thing allowed to show is your eyes? And if we drive in and God forbid our arm miss and come out, which has happened in a Muslim country, by the way, a woman was murdered because she was driving and her arm, she put her arm on the window and some man saw her arm and killed her because she was exposing herself to him. Is that where we're heading? Rich says, even in Muslim countries, women are molested and raped. Boy, I tell you, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, Alexander, but your comment is ridiculous. Because in the same way that you are saying that female should be responsible for not dressing provocatively, then the male or predator or whatever you want to call him should equally be responsible for controlling their impulsive reactions. Otherwise, we need to start covering ourselves to the point where we only could show eyes and pray to God your ankle don't get shown, because that could be provocative to some jerk who figure he have the right to violate you because he can't control himself. Have several seats. Rich says men are totally responsible for controlling his desire upon seeing a ravishly hot lady. Listen, I get it. Males are visual creatures. I get that. You know? And I'm not saying that women should walk around naked. I'm not saying that. But in the same, with the same energy that you have to attack the female because she is dressed like bait, deal with the man or the predator or whatever you want to call the male involved in that situation. He's got a responsibility too. And your argument does not explain how an 8-year-old child was raped today. Doesn't explain it. We all remember the situation a couple of months ago where, thank God for people who were driving along the street, saw some man, male, predator, whatever you want to call him, exposing himself to a little girl walking on the way to primary school. And he can tell the judge he thought her hips were sexy. So do we need to cover her now so only her eyes are exposed so he can't say her hips are sexy? At what point do we call a spade a spade? Telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, 824-9952, 824-9952. Oh boy, I tell you. Rich says men must learn to control that which controls them. How a woman dresses does not give a man a right to touch her. Unbelievable. I had picked some other things to talk about today, but boy, this threw me for a loop. Is that a caller for the show? Okay, we have a people. Please stop calling the WhatsApp line. Please stop calling the WhatsApp line. The number to send a message on WhatsApp is 824-9952. We cannot answer the WhatsApp line. I say that all the time, and y'all still keep calling it. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
That is Malcolm. How you doing?
Hi, all right. How are you?
Okay, I think when these young men rape, they should castrate them, man. Make an example out of them.
My thing is, we need to get to the point where they don't rape in the first place. Because even if you castrate them, that don't change the fact that some females' life has been shattered because of what they did.
Yeah, but they'll only be going there to go to the bathroom just to pee, nothing else.
Anyhow, I hear you.
All right.
Thanks.
You have a good day.
You too. Boy, I tell you. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do in this society. Clearly. Clearly, we got a lot of work to do. 8-year-old child. And somebody looked at an 8-year-old child and thought it was a good idea to violate that child sexually. Boy, I don't know. I don't know how we get. No, I do know how we got to this place. That would be an untruth to say that. Again, we are only reaping the seeds that we have sown. It's harvest time. And you can't plant corn and expect peas to come up and then be standing there in shock and awe. Oh my God, where'd these peas come from? Seeds you plant. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi.
Can you give me 60 seconds, please?
Go right ahead.
See, that's what I cut you right now. Watch this. The man who did what he do, or the young man who did what he do, he was wrong. Trust me. I was a mom with 7 children. They don't believe it, but I tell them they don't believe it. 7 children, 6 grandchildren. They say this. I would run him down, right? But I'm saying, that's all I say. Ain't nothing else. This is what I'm saying to you. That's the one I cut you now. When they say castrate, see, You're putting this thing in people's head, right? I should not be sitting there. You got to educate that. People, listen to me. These people are simple. These people know, they ain't no educated people. They simple. If you ask them, what is it? This is what, Michelle, look at me. Listen to this. Due to the fact I am uninformed to the highest degree of accuracy, I hesitate to articulate from fear that may deviate from proper course of residue. See, this is what's wrong in our country. The people that are afraid to educate people, they try to talk about Wayne Monroe. Boy, Wayne Monroe was a good man. He said what he said, that was unsaid. But people who probably don't like him say negative things about him. But guess what? He's a real man, but he's a real man with purpose. And guess what? Lawrence Brave David said, on the team. The ones that hate us, don't worry, tell them, say, don't worry about the hate us. They go, hey, but I'm saying to you, if we want to stop this work in our country, we got to sit down with the people of our society and our communities. Every MP need to get together, call the community together. I say, what do you want in the community? They don't see them. They don't see them. Out on East Street, I see Jomo for weeks. The garbage still pop my yard. Jomo them never come to my yard. Say, we need to call Brave. They say, Brave, this is what you do, please. Call all the ministers and let's call a meeting in a community, in every community at the same time, and let's discuss what we want in our community. That's the way things to change that community. You have young niggas out there, listen to me, they so idle, nothing to do. They can't fix it. If you say, fix the fan for me, they can't fix the fan. I can teach them how to fix the fan, though. I can teach them how to fix the fan. I teach them that. I can teach them. See what happens is we allow our young men sit on the blocks with nothing to do. All you do is smoke weed all day. All the jobs, all the good jobs, taking about people in a job for 45. Oh, I've been doing 45 years, you want to talk to me. 45 years, you be ashamed of yourself. Oh, your son is, he 45. That's what I'm talking about now. That's why your son ain't working. Move some of these people, man. People don't be in there and get a job done. Move them, you need them more. For the young people, a young man, he's so smart. Look at this man is so smart. But guess what? He has nothing to do. So he had a block smoking weed too. I have to be idle too. Okay. And do something stupid too. The point begins this. The man do what he do, I will run him down, beat him, I said that. What I'm saying is this. Our government need to call a meeting with the people in our communities, man. They're neglecting us. You don't see them no more. Tell Bird Davis, tell the MPs, look here, call a meeting and let's discuss how we can deal with our children. Because the one of them lost long. Listen, woman 27 years old. Hey, I'm 7 children. Hey, she ain't working, 7 children, I tell you. We need to sit down and train these people how to make something out of themselves. That's why these things happening. These people do what they do. They're on the road every day. I hang up right now. I'm saying to you, Michelle, I love you, I respect you. Please, man, tell them, let's call a meeting, man. Let's talk this thing over. Let's decide what we can do, man. Because too much foreigners taking advantage of us. Ain't no behavior there. Check the last name, then.
All right.
Go and
All right,
decide last name.
I can have that right there. Okay.
Good
Thank
night.
you so
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling. So Alexander comes back on Facebook and says, where did the comment go? I thought I pressed it for it to come up. Where did it go? Okay, here it is. Alexander says, my comments detail the reality of living in a society. A woman has the right to dress how she wants. She also has a plan. Hold on, let me read it again. A woman has a right to dress how she wants. She also needs a plan to deal with predatory men. So you assume, Alexander, that predatory men only attack women who are dressed provocatively. And that is not true. So what are you saying? And this is why I'm saying to you, you need to have several seats. Because a predator is... Provocative dress is not what turns the predator on. It's hurting that person. It's the control. It's the power. That is what gets them off. So you could be dressed, covered from head to toe, and they could still attack. So what is your point? Are you blaming the 8-year-old child that was raped today? What is your point? And y'all is want, dig in on these positions. A short while ago, we did a show talking about men and their behavior. And it was exactly about that attitude of you don't have to be dressed provocatively. You don't have to be doing anything to call attention to yourself at all. You just have to be female. And that within itself makes you a target. And this is what people like you, Alexander, don't seem to be able to grasp. Because you're too busy blaming the female who is dressed provocatively, but ignoring all the rest who are equally a target. And you're right, this is a society we live in. And a part of the reason that this is a society we live in is because people, and I can say people like you, even though I won't say that, but people don't want to deal with the problem of the men being predators. So as opposed to saying, how are we going to fix them? We say, no, you as a woman, you should know better. You should, because you know they there. So be prepared to deal with them. How about we fix them? As opposed to only focusing on the female who is a target because she's a female. That's the point I'm trying to make here. It's not enough to say, well, that's the society we live in. So as a female, you should know better. So, just be prepared to deal with it. Really? We satisfied with that? Unbelievable. This is a part of the problem, and this is why we find ourselves in the position we're in. Because y'all don't seem to get it. You don't have to be dressed provocatively as a female to be a target. You just got to be a female. And until we grasp that, we will always have this problem. Because you are not willing to even take the first step of acknowledging that the problem is the man. I say it all the time on the show, you cannot fix what you do not acknowledge. And if you can't even acknowledge that the problem starts with him, we ain't gonna go nowhere. And this is why in 2022, we still having this problem. I remember being a young reporter, being approached by a very high-ranking civil servant who, drew his line, and I decided I didn't want, have a relationship with him. And so he proceeds to threaten my job. I'll have your job. Do you know who I am? I'm now 58 years old. That happened when I was in my 20s, and that foolishness is still going on. Was I dressing provocatively? No. I was just going about doing my job, trying to be a human being with rights, like every other human being. But he decided that because he wanted to have a relationship and I didn't reciprocate, that he was going to try to go for my job. So who you blaming in that situation? Me? Who you blaming? We need to stop victim blaming. And you can call it what you want, call it. That is what it is. And until men require men to be responsible for their behavior, we ain't going to get nowhere with this conversation. So I'm so sorry, Alexander, but I stick to what I'm saying. Have several seats. Because from a woman's perspective, you ain't making no sense if you ain't willing to deal with the men in this conversation. The problem begins there. And this foolishness has been going on for this long because of that. Unbelievable. This is why we can't get past this. Boy, look here. Anyhow. I tired. Claudette says, Alexander, when it gets to your doorstep, then you will know. You need to stop. No man have the right to touch a female without their consent. Now that poor little innocent 8-year-old child is scared for life. How sad. And this is exactly what Trevor Noah was saying in the clip that we played in that particular show. Until men decide to become a part of the solution to deal with other men, 50 years from now, we'll still be having the same conversation. Y'all are the problem. And instead of saying, oh, y'all women, what y'all doing to build up men? What you doing to build up men, Alexander? How many men are mentoring boys and trying to raise them right, realizing that many of them don't have a father in the home? How many men have reached out to a boy who they see go in the wrong direction, who they realize need some help to try to steer that boy in the right direction? How many of y'all? But no, the first thing you can do is you can blame the woman. Come on, man. We got to stop the madness. And as a woman, Alexander, I am very well aware of the place I live. And I don't make it a practice to dress provocatively, but I'm always aware of my surroundings. Because I realize that you have some men out there who are just sick. But they ain't get no better. Why? Because y'all, ain't nobody won't focus on them. Men ain't focusing on them. You only focusing on us. So don't you believe for 1 second, Alexander, that only women who are dressed provocatively are targets of predators. There's nothing further from the truth. You just got to be a female. We got one more break to take. Let's take this break. Oh, Lord, I tell you, I gee. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of having the same conversation. We got to do better, man. Let's take this break. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. Welcome back to this open line show. We only have 4 minutes left in the show. I want to read a comment from one of our WhatsApp commenters. Says, my heart goes out to that little girl. How can someone in their right mind do what they did to that little child? When will our lawmakers start to do what is right in this country? I'm for hanging and whatever penalty that will deter these lowly criminals for committing these heinous crimes. Is that a caller? Last call. Caller, welcome to GPS. Hello, caller. You on the air?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the question was asked in a meeting from the Prime Minister's office if they get the cost of the royal visit here. And I think that's the director, Letray, Raming or something like that. He said, no, they don't have that yet. I think that was sad. I think something like that they should have done. Now, and Michelle, I didn't hear no uproar from any woman in the country. I mean, and I'm sure some have a problem with it, but, when we hear a man or a young man kill a girl or something, either with their children around, we're supposed to make noise about it, and that's what we do. But, like, with this women on women killing, I think about 2 weekends ago or last weekend, I don't know if you said something about it. I think it was reported that it was some kind of domestic, some kind of quarrel between two women, and one either used a gun and killed the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't hear these different women groups speaking out against it. That's someone's child also. That's domestic violence or abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they just pick what to talk about. And I believe, like you say, us men, we need to be encouraged to speak to other men and tell them this thing what we're doing on women, it needs to stop. And I kind of should agree with Alex, or with the text, right? I mean, the Facebook writer who you read two messages from on air. No one have a right to touch them people the way they dress and stuff like that. And we ain't saying, the way you dress is okay for somebody to do it to you, but no, it attracts them. And
But
time
it
is we done
doesn't.
deal with
That's
them
my
and punish
point.
them,
They
hang
are
them or
attacking women
whatsoever.
who are not dressed provocatively.
Yes, it has happened to them too.
So how could you say?
Because they lunatics. Because like the person was saying, these lunatics who we dealing with, you don't even have to be dressed that way. But if that's something what will attract them, you have to keep your guards up.
So what attracted them to rape an 8-year-old girl today? What attracted them to that?
That's a loose cannon. That's a mad person. That's somebody. I mean, they possessed by the devil. See, even if we punish them, hang them, we ain't got to worry about that person no more. But guess what? That person, the child, doesn't get hurt. So we got to do everything to protect the children. But we was talking about the way people dress. I mean, and you could dress how you want to dress. Just remember, they are lunatics out there. And even if we punish them and hang them, you don't get hurt. I think that's what Alex was saying.
Yeah,
that's why I
but
agree with
what
them.
you
Keep it
and
good. Have a
Alex
nice
don't
weekend,
seem to
Michelle.
understand is that you hung up and go, and I got to go anyway. A minute left. What y'all don't seem to understand, while I hear what y'all saying, what y'all don't seem to understand is you don't have to be dressed provocatively to be a target. That's the point I'm trying to make. So don't tell me as a woman, oh, you should be aware that you're going to be a target, because I'm a target anyway, because I'm a woman. And that's what y'all don't seem to understand. And I thank God for his grace and his covering. But come on, man. When are we going to stop the madness? I gotta go. Next week, we have a full week of great shows planned for you guys. Do tune in. Let's pray for this nation, y'all, who believe in prayer, because we really got to get our act together. We got to turn back to God, people. Got to go. 4 o'clock. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Have a safe weekend, everybody.